Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and we've got another prize picks video for you. We're going to be talking about the NBA slate on January 8th. We've got 6 games on board with some fun matchups. We're running it back with Boston and Indiana. That's going to be a fun one. We got Suns, Clippers. Should be fun for only a 6-game slate. That was my bad. I thought we had Monday Night Football. So in the last video, I mentioned we would be back for NFL and NBA, but the NFL just knocked all of Week 18 out, the remaining games on Sunday. So we're pretty clear until the wild card round starts and we start working our way into playoffs. But we've got 4 picks for you tonight. But before we get into our plays, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code and they'll double your first deposit up to $100. They're going to match whatever you put on. So if you do deposit your whole $100, you'll get $200 to play with. Just use our code and they will hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. A lot of these plays that we end up putting up, especially for the late night show like this one, they end up getting bumped. Usually like a point and a half sometimes, but sometimes they're just removed entirely. And we've had it happen like even just like 20-30 minutes after the video is posted. So if you want to jump on these quick, just make sure you have the notifications on as well. And then you should be notified as soon as our video drops. And if you like what we're getting into, you can hop on it quick. Speaking of subscribing, thanks guys. We hit 8,000 subscribers. All thanks to you. We're so stoked. We literally had no idea that we would be able to have a community like this. When we started it, I don't know, we're going to keep going. We want to keep growing, and we really appreciate all of your help. It's been a really fun community to get to know you guys. And if you don't mind doing us a favor and liking the video, that will really help us continue to grow, continue to get in front of larger audiences, and get pushed further into the algorithm so we can be in the feeds when people are searching for prize picks, plays, and whatnot. But yeah, if you don't mind liking the video, we really appreciate it, guys. And thanks for helping us get to 8K. It's very exciting for us. So we're going to do a recap before we get into the plays. I had taken 2 plays. We just did a 4-pick video for Sunday. But I took Anthony Simons and took him for over 3.5 rebounds. I felt good about this play for sure, but not as confident as I did about the Keegan Murray play, but we'll get into that in a minute. But Anthony ended up going for 4. I had mentioned that I thought that spread looked kind of ridiculous. I believe they were giving Brooklyn like a 9-point advantage or something. And I think that the Nets, I like where they're going, but I think that they're pretty overrated at the moment. They ended up losing that game to the Blazers, and Anthony he had like 3 rebounds for a while there, and I was just thinking like, oh man, he's not going to hit. And sure enough, he ended up getting that 4th one right at the end there. But so we also took Keegan Murray for over 5.5 rebounds. This is interesting. He had 24 rebounds in his last 2 games before this. And same thing, we've been talking about how people are sleeping on the Pelicans. And I couldn't believe that there was a 9-point, it was either like 6.5 points or a 9-point advantage on the spread to the Brooklyn Nets. And there was only a 3.5 point spread, or maybe 2.5 point spread favoring the Kings. But I just feel like the odds makers who are putting these game lines out have been sleeping on how good the Pelicans have been playing. They just went and dominated the Timberwolves in Minnesota, coming off of a back-to-back, led by 20 like the whole game. That's even been getting into some of our issues with taking some of these like Valanciunas and plays like that, where they just get ahead so far that they don't need any help in the second half. And they came out and dominated Sacramento in Sacramento. They had like a 40-point lead throughout the third quarter. And Keegan Murray, I think that they came out and they got punched in the teeth, and he went for 1 rebound after going for 24 in his last 2 games. So there was even someone, you know how we are, we don't ever call anything locks. This is a perfect example for why. But someone was mentioning in the comments, there's this guy looking for a play, and he was like, give me one lock, just one play. And then he posted again and said something like, just if your life depended on it, what play? And I told him, like, there's no such thing as a lock, but my most confident play is Keegan Murray over 5.5 rebounds because I hope he didn't bet the house on it. But I mean, dude, but this is the perfect example. These are professional athletes, these are, and the Pelicans, man. So it's like, I'm not happy that the prop didn't hit, but I am happy that, we're starting to see some discrepancies in these game lines and in the spread in particular. And so Jordy and I are excited to continue to evolve and look for ways to implement what we're seeing on the spread into the plays. We already do that, but it's like our channel is pretty new. So as we continue to grow and learn from experiences like this, it's kind of a bittersweet thing because I knew that they were sleeping on the Pelicans. I just didn't think they were going to like dominate them so much that Keegan Murray doesn't play, that much in the second half because they're down by 40. But anyways, so yeah, I went 1 for 1 on my side. Anthony hit, Keegan did not hit. What about you, Jordy?
Yeah, I feel the same way with some of this stuff. It's so unpredictable sometimes, and we're giving you guys a lot of volume with picks, and so it's more likely that our slips bust sometimes. It's not like if we were getting sweeps every week, we'd both be millionaires right now. So it's like, it's gonna happen. It happens a lot, and we're not those people who are promising you Rolls Royces and Rolexes on 2 picks every day. So it's like if we're doing 2 picks a day, our record would be a lot better than it is now, I promise you, because sometimes I do play 2 and 4 picks and they hit all the time, but it's like we enjoy chasing that bag at 6 plays and 4 plays and so on and so forth. So we really enjoy it. But I just wanted to put that out there because people are always talking about, well, you guys will never be limited. Cool, I don't care. I like to play. That's what we're all here to do. It's entertainment for us. You shouldn't be trying to make Prize Picks your full-time job on winning and gambling, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But we just enjoy playing. We're fans of the sport, and it's like a super fun thing to do. So that's why we made the channel, obviously, because we enjoy it. But to get into my recap here, I went 1 and 1 also. I took Cam Johnson to go over 2.5 threes made, and he crushed it. He went for 3. He had a lot of attempts. I was worried he kind of got cold, but he ended up hitting for us. I think he went 3 for 7, so it was pretty good on that one. But I got a little nervous. I think he hit his last one in like the 4th quarter, but hit there. And then Kawhi Leonard, man, I thought he was going to play a lot better than he did tonight. But I just wanted to say, we've both mentioned many times that Zubac needs more minutes, and he went completely ham tonight. I made a slip that I put in Discord that it did really well. It went 5 for 6, and we just missed because Westbrook, I took his points too in that one, but I took Zubac's fantasy score at like 21, and he had like 40 because he had 2 blocks and all those points, and he had like 19 rebounds. So I'm like, they need to be giving him minutes, but we didn't take him. We took Kawhi Leonard, so let me talk about him. He just had a really bad shooting night. If you guys watched the game, he had so many shots that rattled out. He wasn't getting any foul calls. Like, it was a pretty rough game for him. They were trying really hard to make sure the Lakers won that game on the officiating side, but he only had 15 points, and we took him for over 26.5. So rough night on his end, but that was a very lousy called game in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't even catch any of that game. I was just like watching football and basketball all day, and took Sunday off, got a bunch of Chipotle, ended up like passing out, and I was just like
Typical,
kept waking up and
some Chipotle binging.
Yeah, man, it was so good. It was a great day. I'm feeling great. Now I've got all this energy. I'm gonna definitely get into some 2K24 after this, but
Nice.
Cool. So let's get into these plays. And yeah, with Zubats, like we've been talking about it like forever. It's just like, give that dude like 30 plus minutes, give him 35 plus. Look what he does when you give him that much time, There's no reason he should ever be going for like 2 rebounds. Like
No.
he's just got to get in rhythm, but cool. Well, I've got 2 PRA picks for tonight. I was tempted to take Jason Tatum because we do have this, they're running it back against Indiana, and he went nuts in that last game, and to the point where I would be totally confident jumping back on like PRA here, but he is questionable with an ankle injury. Maybe he'll end up playing his game time decision, but I'm like, I'm not going to mess with that. So little honorable mention. I was really tempted, but I'm going to be going with Kobe White for my first play. I'm going to be taking him for more. He's been playing great in the last 2 games. Went for 38 back-to-back against New York and then Charlotte, and he's got another matchup against Charlotte. And this is just set at 29.5. And he's been getting his minutes, so I like him to go over this. If we look at the over-under here, we've got a 217 over-under with the Bulls favored by 6.5. So I like this game to stay relatively close. We do have Vucevic game time decision as well, so we'll be looking at Drummond tomorrow as soon as we get word on Vooch, whether or not he's going to actually be playing or not. But if we jump into Kobe White's PRA here, we have a good matchup. Like we said, he went for a 38 and back-to-back games, one of which against the same team, Charlotte. And Charlotte is 25th in points allowed, 24th in rebounds allowed, 26th in assists allowed. So great matchup for him. If we look at the point guard specifically, it's just a little bit more difficult with the points being 14th allowed, specifically to point guards, but still that's just middle of the road. I like him to get this done. And I love these minutes, man. Just like Zubats, like give this kid minutes and look what he does with it. Like just under 38 minutes, just under 40 minutes, and he goes for 38 PRA back to back. So I like him to get this done again. I think he can easily get 30. And we have Alex Caruso also game time decision. So yeah, definitely going to be looking at this game more tomorrow. For more pieces. If we hop over to Daily Grind, they've got his PRA juice to go over. They have the odds to hit at 52%. We've got BetMGM at -120, DraftKings -135. Regardless of what the other odds makers are saying, even though they are favoring it to go over, I just feel great about this play. Love the matchup. I like him to just run it back and have another good game. So I'm going to be taking him for more on his PRA. And then my next play is also going to be PRA. And I'm going to be going with John Collins. This one's a little bit riskier for the blowout potential, but I think he can get this done even if there is a blowout. He's 19.5 is just so low for what he's been doing. And if we look back at this game against Boston, he put up 25 and they did get severely blown out in that game. But he still got that done in the first half. So I'm comfortable taking this for more. If we take a look at this over under, definitely a little bit scarier. We have a 245 over under with the Bucks favored by 9.5. I'd love to see the Jazz make this a game, or at least make it not a blowout, but I think we all know what's probably going to happen. Like the Bucks are probably going to win this game, but I think he can get this done before things get out of hand. If we take a look at what he's been doing, he's gone over this 4 out of his last 5. His minutes have been decent too. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, he can get this done on like 20 minutes. Like he played just under 22 minutes against Boston and still went for 25. He went for 11 boards, 12 points. And this matchup's a little bit more difficult, specifically to power forwards. The Bucks are 5th in points allowed, 8th in rebounds allowed, and 10th in assists allowed. But again, he did this to Boston in just 20 minutes. Again, to Philly as well. And he didn't play that much there, just under 28 minutes. So I think, however, this game ends up, I think 19.5 is just too low. This is favored to go under just slightly. If we hop over to Daily Grind, the under is favored by 0.13%. So it's as close to a 50-50 shot as you can get. All of these other odds makers have it at just a 50-50 shot. But DG just has it slightly favoring the under. I would be way more nervous to take the under than to take the over on this line, personally. So I'm going to be rolling with it. I think you can get it done in the first half. So yeah, my two are going to be Kobe White over PRA and John Collins over PRA. What do you got for us, Jordy?
Yeah, man. So to get me into mine here, I'm going to be going to start with a 3-point made prop. I'm going to be taking Lauri Markkanen in this game to go over 2.5 3-pointers made. He's been awesome, man. He's jacking up a ton of threes, and he's gone over the 7 out of 10 games, and he just missed it against Boston. And he's shooting a ton of threes. If you look at his attempts here, even in that game against Boston where he barely missed it, he had 7 3-point attempts. He's averaging 8.5 attempts and shooting pretty much 40%. So if you do the math on that, he could cash this even if he just shot 30%. So we're looking for that type of game. This is a very tough matchup, obviously. There's a lot of blowout potential here. But, the kind of pattern for them has been when they're getting torched, Markkanen just starts firing even more threes. So I like this a lot to go over. They've had a lot of high-scoring games, so I'm hoping they can get hot early and keep this game competitive. Because they can score 130 points. Like, we've seen them do it before. So I just really like this play. If you look over on Daily Grind here, where are you at? It's a 53.1% chance to go over 2.5. It's a minus 133 here on DG, and everyone else got it as like a minus 135 or higher. So I really like it to go over. So that's my first play. And then for my second play, I'm going with a points prop. If you guys don't like this one, don't take it, but it's a pretty good matchup for him. I'm taking Daniel Gafford for over 9.5 points here. He's done this 6 out of 10 games, and he's not like a crazy high scorer or anything, but he can get over 10 points. I mean, pretty easily. He's done it in 6 out of 10 games. He's done it in 12 out of 20. So he's got a pretty good track record of going over this. Only missing it 8 times out of 20 games is pretty impressive. And, it's not like Chet is a crazy defender. He can get some blocks because he's so tall, but Gafford is very athletic and strong, and he's like he fights, man. He's a scrappy dude down in the paint, so I like him to get at least 10 points. I think he'll be all right to get this for us. He's averaging 5.8 field goal attempts, and he's shooting 67%. Hopefully we don't get one of these games where he only shoots the ball like twice. I don't think that's going to be the case here because OKC is pretty sporadic, so I think this game is going to be very fast-paced and pretty high-scoring game. So I think they'll be able to stay in it. Obviously, the over-under here, they're favored by 11.5. Obviously, it's every game they're favored by 10 or more to beat the Wizards. But the Wizards are competitive, man. They'll stay there with them the entire time. They're not a team where if they're getting blown out, they like to sit them super early. Like, they'll let them fight back from a 30-point deficit just to see if they can do it. So I like him to go over this. If you look at his minutes too, he's getting 26 minutes a game, and in games where he's kind of doing a little bit of everything, they give him a little bit more minutes. They give him usually over 30. So I think he's going to have a competitive matchup here. And, this is a minus 125 to go over. If you look at it here on DG, let me pull him up real quick. His points are 53.33% chance to go over, and they're a minus 134 on DG and minus 130 everywhere else. So it's a pretty juice prop, and that's the two I'm rolling with, man.
Great. Yeah, I feel good about these. I know we already put them in Discord before we started filming, but I locked them in myself too. I know Jordy locked them in already.
Yep.
This is a fun board for a 6-game slate. Like there's actually a decent amount on the board right now, but there's so much to get into tomorrow. So I can't wait for the daily show when we have fantasy score on the board. And I can't wait to see if we can run out Drummond, because if Vooch is out, we're running it back on his rebounds if it's available. But we hope you guys have a great week. Wrapping up the weekend, we got to have football and basketball Saturday and Sunday this week, so it was a lot of fun. But we hope you guys have a great week. And if you're interested in checking out our Discord, we do have a link in the description of the video if you want to come see what that's all about. We're always hanging out in there. Really fun community over there. We build out slips together, and we're just basically talking sports all day long from the time we wake up till we're filming these videos. But yeah, if you're into stuff like that, just check it out. There's a link in the description. And if you want to check out any of these tools from Daily Grind that we use them. We use the DFS optimizer to look for plays and then also to confirm plays once we build a narrative around a play, whether or not we think it can go over or under. It's a great place to just check all of their different odds makers in one place and just kind of get a little bit more information before you lock something in. But they also have a really cool correlation tool that you've seen us utilize in some of our NFL videos. But we've partnered up with them, so you can get 25% off of any of their tools if you use code BACKDOOR at checkout. So if you're a first-time user and you want to check it out, you can take advantage of that 25% off. There's a link in the description of the video for that as well. But other than that, guys, once again, thank you so much for helping us get to 8K. Can't wait to just keep growing this channel and expanding, getting into other platforms, getting into other sports. But we just really want to thank you guys. You've been awesome. So we hope you have a great week, and we will catch you tomorrow in the Daily Show.
Good luck, guys.